Good morning. Just flew into Hawaii yesterday, so what better way to start the trip and, get out the door. Here's the unfortunate thing. The sun is not up, and I wanted to do a sunrise run. Now I just kind of think we gotta wait until 7. I'm running the half marathon here in 3 days, I think, so I'm just doing this as like a little shakeout run. Maybe like a nice 2 miles or something. Oh, where the hell did this cap come from?
Hello, kitties.
That is how you end a run. Good morning. It's 5 a.m. It's the morning of the half marathon. I'm really excited, but I'm also really nervous. For the actual distance itself, I'm like, okay, that's easy. I really only run on flat ground, and I just drove the map of what I'm supposed to be running, and it looks a little hilly for me, so I'm scared. But anyway, I have my journal. Okay, for outfit, we're going all black with bright shoes, Oakleys. These are the Fast and Free shorts from Lululemon. This black like mock neck long sleeve. This is from Nike. Hoping this won't be too hot, but I think I'll be alright. I brought my running belt rather than my vest, which I regret because if I brought my vest, I could have brought water, but this will just fit my phone so I don't have to hold it. Look at that. Got these for Christmas and I have not been able to wear them yet, so I'm excited to wear them today. Then I brought my Apple Watch out of retirement. I'll bring chapstick in my pack and then just my sunglasses. Let's fucking go. Just gotten home from Hawaii, and I think that was like the first trip that I was gonna say like 80% of the travel I do is for work or I'm working whilst I travel. This was the first trip in a long time that I actually maybe worked 1 or 2 of the days I was there, but I was training for the half marathon. We did a couple hikes, a couple trail walks, a lot of walking, a couple runs outside of the half marathon. That felt like the first vacation I've had in a long time though, where I entered the trip more rested, and then I left the trip with my body being like, what the fuck? Bitch, what the fuck? But yeah, now I'm home. God, January is going by really quick. I also came home and I just got these new Nikes. They're the Nike Zoom X Invincible shoe. Quite nice. I'm gonna walk on my walking pad right now and listen to some podcasts. I mean, given that I think it's 23 degrees outside, I will take the sun. I have always been really intrinsically motivated, independently operated, and scared to share what my goals are until they're done. I don't know if this is something that I was born with or something that I like acquired along the way, but I genuinely think this has been like a big key to my success in finishing the goals that I have, or diving into my desires, following through on my creativity. Like all of that I genuinely think is because I put most of the weight on myself. It's just been a pet peeve as I've gotten older. I get really confused the amount of people that say they're gonna do something and then don't do it. Whether it's something really, really small or really, really big. You know, people will start monthly challenges online and then 2 weeks go in, life inevitably as it does, gets in the way and you can't follow through. So then you need to go through this big announcement like, oh, I wasn't able to follow through on XYZ because of this reason. And sometimes not following through on your goals is like it's very valid. Like sometimes there's really valid reasons to not follow through. And then sometimes there's a lot of reasons people stop for maybe not so much valid reasons. Regardless, whatever it is, it's like sometimes that's inevitable. And so for me, I've never liked sharing what I do until I've done it. And I just feel like that has caused me to actually follow through on a lot more than I would if I shared. Does that make sense? Like, okay, for instance, I just ran the half marathon. I've been training for that for the last 12 weeks. So the last many months, this has been like a big part of my life, and I didn't share it once online until I ran it. And then it was like, okay, I just ran this. And not that it would have been a bad thing if I did share along the way. From the second I sign up for something, or the second I have like a goal or a thought or a journey that I want to like set off on, a project that I want to start, I'm scared to share it until I complete it, because my thought is this, like, life inevitably gets in the way. My concern is if I shared something like, here's what I'm gonna work on, and then something doesn't work out, now not only do I have to accept with myself that I can't follow through on a goal, but I have to announce to everybody else that I've already said something to, that like, oh, actually I can't follow through on this. And the thing is, once that happens more than one time, it feels like your body just gets used to like accepting the fact that you don't actually need to follow through on what you say. And then I have this fear that would like teach my brain to not need to follow through, because realistically when you don't follow through on something, for the most part it doesn't really matter, right? But now I think your brain really understands like, oh, that's not a big deal. For me, I feel like because I keep things private and I'm like intrinsically motivated, I think when I finish, like I do the half marathon or I, start a business, I finish a really big project, I get to finish and I get to announce it, and I get to know that I had nobody rooting for me. Nobody knew about this. I didn't have to follow through on anything. Like the weight of everything was just on me, and I still followed through. And that feeling after I complete something that I know I didn't need to do because nobody was, relying on me, like that is so rewarding. And that feeling, I think, inspires me to continue doing things, because it felt like I proved to myself that I can do things on my own. In my head, I wonder if I told people I was going to do something and then for whatever reason, valid or not valid, I couldn't do it, would my brain just get used to lying? Like, would it be fine with that? Like, oh, you don't need to follow through. Or if I told people I was going to do something, would their doubt affect me? Like, would their questions make me question myself? I think I've just found so much success in keeping things private and doing them for me, and then being able to share afterwards. And that feeling is like, it's like addicting, right? Knowing that at any given moment I could have given up and nobody would have known. There would have been no disappointment from anybody but myself. And I think doing little things like this make my appreciation and trust in myself 10 times stronger, because everything I followed through on, I know I've done with just the promise I made myself, not the promise that I made anybody else. And the more I think about this, I wonder, like, is it a bad thing then to be like extrinsically motivated, or to rely on like external validation to push you through to do things in life? And like at the end of the day, like, I don't know, that works for some people, but maybe this will resonate more with some of you guys to give it a try, to follow through on a goal without making a big deal about it to anybody else. And then when you complete said goal, notice that feeling that you have now, like it's like you've gained a little bit more trust with yourself. It's not really a conversation that I've had before, but just after doing this last half marathon, it's funny that it's the same thing I did the last time I ran a half marathon. Like, I didn't announce it to anybody. I just did the training, I did the race, and then I shared my achievement. And to me, that's like sharing the promise that I made with myself, rather than sharing like a promise like, oh, I promised you guys I was going to do this, here it is. And I think the more I can push any external validation or any external motivation away, it lets me like tap into like my desire and creativities and passion a lot more in like an authentic way, because everything that I do, I just know it's like I'm doing it for myself. Yeah, I don't know. It's like a fun game of picking and choosing what to share. I think I'm learning to like trust myself and my intuition, and the projects that I have thought of in my head, or the desires that came to me in my head, I think maybe are here for a reason, and I don't really need other people's disruptions. So I think it's really cool to be able to like take care of yourself and go above and beyond with just yourself on the line. If you're just like wanting to take care of yourself and follow through on something as well, like my app has so many programs. Start one and follow it all the way through. Do a 12-week program, and at the end of the 12 weeks be like, shit, I just did a whole 12-week training block for myself. Like, do something for you during this phase of your life and just see how it feels. I think that is all that I want to say today. Bye.